There's literally a social anxiety video in my recommendation section all the time now. So either it's a hot topic or somebody's trying to tell me something. So yeah, I thought I would just put my 2 cents in when it comes to social anxiety. Hey guys, welcome back to Live, Love, Life, and Travel, and welcome to Free Talk Friday, where I just talk about whatever I want to talk about. And if you're new here, welcome. Just to let you know, I do usually upload on the daily, and I upload all my travel videos every Monday through Thursday, and in my Free Talk videos throughout the weekend. So if you're interested, please hit that subscribe button. Today's topic of conversation is going to be social anxiety, because it seems like it is a hot topic right now. So I'm not going to get all like technical on you guys. I'm no doctor, I'm no counselor or therapist, but I do experience social anxiety, just like I think the majority of the population experience social anxiety. I think that's why it's been such a hot topic lately. I do know for a fact, just like fear and stress, when you have it chronically on a daily basis, that it can be very damaging to the mind, body, and soul. It can have really negative consequences on your brain and on your physical health, and it can even sort of paralyze you from moving forward with your future and becoming a better version of you. So I said again that I think majority of people experience social anxiety. I experience social anxiety, not to the point where I have panic attacks, and not to the point where it's ever really kept me from just sort of doing what I want to do. Even if I have fear, I kind of push through it. But there's been times where I've like let my anxiety keep doing something, and every single time that's happened, I've always regretted it, and I've always learned from that, like not to let that happen again. And so in my opinion, I feel like social anxiety is a combination of judgment and fear. And I feel like the judgment is more of self-judgment and more of being self-critical of oneself. We all have these sort of doubts in the back of our minds of who we think we are. You know, like maybe I'm not as clever as I think I am. Maybe I'm not as smart as I think I am. Maybe I'm not as beautiful or pretty or skinny or rich or successful or liked as I think I am. And so I think that that's us criticizing ourselves, and then we are scared that our worst fears of ourselves is true. Like, you know, if I'm standing in a group of my closest friends or in a social circle or in my job or whatever, that maybe they'll see that I'm not as funny as I think I am. Maybe they'll realize I'm not as intelligent as I try to portray myself. Maybe they'll realize that I'm not as beautiful or successful or liked or popular than I think I am. We're scared that they're gonna see that our own self-judgments of ourselves. It's kind of neurotic when you think about it. We constantly think that we are on top of everyone else's mind, that they are constantly like analyzing us because we analyze ourselves. The most critical people are usually the most insecure. They're really critical about you because they're critical on themselves. You know, like the things that I'm less confident about, I notice like really quickly to like other people. Like if I feel a little bloated that day, I will notice like every other girl's like stomach and be more critical on them, which is totally wrong, but I'm being critical to them because I'm critical on myself. I'm just saying that we assume that everyone notices our imperfections because we notice our own imperfections, and then therefore we think everyone's analyzing us because we're analyzing them in a way, I guess. And I guess that would mean that everybody's analyzing everybody. But anyway, my point is that judgment that we fear that's going to come upon us is usually our own self-judgment that we're really projecting out there, if that makes any sense. You get my drift? And so then the fear comes in because we're scared they will see. You know, like I feel like sometimes for me anyway, like I sometimes have an anxiety that people are going to figure out that I'm fraud or I'm fake or I'm not what I say I am or think I am. And of course in my forefront, my conscious, and what I think on a daily is this is who I am. But I say like everyone has that little negative, judgmenty little voice right there that's like, well, you're not really as smart as you think you are. You're not really as cool as you think you are. Like, even when I started YouTube, like, seeing myself talk and my gestures completely different from what I actually envisioned myself to be. Like, I thought I had a deeper voice. I thought my gestures were just a little bit more cooler, and I'm not. I feel like I look like a complete dork. But, you know, we all have like an image of ourselves, but then we're scared that what if I'm wrong, and then what if people that I'm talking to, what if the world, what if society, what if my boyfriend, my girlfriend, my wife, my spouse, my kids, my best friend figure out that I'm not who I say that I am because I'm criticizing myself. I feel like I'm not making sense, but I hope that I am. And so that's why I feel like it's a combination of judgment and fear. And I think the judgment more comes from ourselves, criticizing ourselves, and the fear is people, maybe that negative person I think I might be is true, and people are going to figure that out, and I'm scared of that. I'm scared of them figuring that out and then them judging me. And so, yeah. And how do we stop that? How do we stop this like self-judgment and this fear, and how do we not allow it to affect our lives and keep us from pursuing our dreams? And when I was in theater, my theater director used to call it the third eye. Like, everyone has that critical third eye that follows us everywhere, that judges us. Like, you know, we're usually the first ones to say like, oh, you look stupid, or that outfit is not that great, or what you said wasn't even funny, if that didn't make any sense. Like, right now as I'm talking to you guys, I'm criticizing everything that comes out of my mouth, and that's that third eye. And so my director would tell us, you will never be able to fully give yourself to the stage and to your audience and to the character that you're portraying if you don't completely destroy and smash that third eye. You have to stop being so self-critical and so self-judgmental. And also know that you are not like the only person that feels that way. Everybody has some form of some level of social anxiety and self-judgment and being critical of oneself. Everybody has weird quirks and thoughts in their head that they would sound completely strange if they spoke out loud. Everybody feels that way. And people don't really say this anymore, but I remember when I was younger, like, if you had to do like a public statement or a speech or speak in front of class or whatever, like a lot of coaches who would teach people how to speak in public would say, like, picture everyone naked. And it wasn't to make the person who was speaking laugh. It was to if you picture everyone naked, then everyone else you'll see are just as vulnerable as you are, and they have just as many flaws as you do. And you realize that, okay, everybody is this way, and I'm not like the only one that is like has this issue. Of course, people have it on different levels. Some people have it to the point where it is sort of paralyzing them, and some people have it where they can just sort of muscle through it. And then other people are better at faking it till they make it. Other people are better at faking it, and other people are better at realizing, noticing their negative thoughts, pushing it to the side, and deciding to live more in positivity. So it's on different levels, but everybody has insecurities. Everybody has some form of social anxiety. If you realize that everyone is sort of just as vulnerable as you are, you can maybe ease up on yourself, and stop being so self-judgment, so self-critical, and so hard on yourself. So what if you aren't the funny, most clever, most beautiful, most successful? Who cares? It's not that big of a deal. And we need to relax and just realize that life isn't a competition, and you don't always have to be the biggest, the best, the most pretty, the most powerful, and the most successful. Just relax and be you. And if you make a mistake, if you stutter over your words, if you make a stupid joke, or if you don't get a joke, and if everybody doesn't like you, if you're not the most popular, you have to realize that it's not the end of the world. Just be you, and everyone's not gonna like you, and you have to realize that too. You have to get over that anxiety that, what if they don't like me? Guess what? Everybody's not gonna like you, and that is okay, and you have to be okay with that. Just be you, whatever you are. If you're quirky, if you're freaky, if you are strange, whatever, just be you, and know that people are gonna love you and accept you for who you are. And then once you don't, then they're gonna move through your life, and that is okay. conquering fear is really, really important because, like, again, fear can be paralyzing. And I've said it in my previous videos, like, you have to ask yourself, like, you have to weigh the pros and cons. How am I going to feel if I allow my anxiety or my social anxiety or my fear or my judgment or my being self-critical? How am I going to feel if I allow that to stop me from doing things that I really want to do, to pursue goals, to pursue dreams, to meet new people, to have amazing conversations? Is that going to make me feel worse, or is it going to make me feel better? Most likely it's going to make you feel worse, and it's just going to keep piling on to the social anxiety and the self-judgment that you already have. To me, the key of conquering fear is to do it. Whatever you're freaking scared of, just do it. Like, if you're scared of speaking, speak in front of the biggest crowd ever. Like, just get it out of your system. The more you do it, the more that anxiety and that fear becomes less and less and less and less and less until it's that it doesn't have that control over you anymore. Like, you might still always have a little bit of anxiety, but not enough to keep you from doing what you want to do. So whatever you're scared of, whatever that social event that you have anxiety going to, just go to it. And even if you fall on your face, even if it doesn't go the way you wanted it to go the first time, just do it again and do it again and do it again. And I know it's not that easy. I know any time anyone wants to self-better themselves or become a better version of themselves or pursue their dreams or pursue their goals or whatever, or conquer a fear or whatever, like, it's not easy. I'm not saying it's that easy, but those are the steps I feel like you have to sort of take. I feel like first you have to come to the realization that you're not perfect, and you're not going to be perfect, and nobody else is perfect, and you can't expect people to think that you're perfect. And if people want you to be perfect, then there's something wrong with them. You have to get over that self-judgment. You have to get over that self-criticizing yourself. You have to realize you're not alone in this. You have to realize that everyone feels the same way, and you have to realize that it's not the end of the world if you aren't this shining star in the room. Like, and then you have to just move forward. So I don't know if any of that made any sense. I hope it did. That's pretty much what I do. Like I said, I don't suffer with extreme social anxiety, but I do believe that, like, I do very much suffer with self-judgment and being self-critical. I am the worst critic on myself. I get down on myself so bad, and that's something that I'm working with. And I do have, like I said, I have that anxiety that people are gonna, like, hear my negativity about myself, and then they're gonna realize that it's true, and then it's all, like, you know, whatever. Like, so I do have that, but I try to sort of, like, push through that, and I try to not to let my fears keep me from doing what I want, because when it has, I always really, really regretted it. And so from now on, like, when I'm scared of something, I just weigh the pros and cons. How am I gonna feel like if I don't do this, and I know the thing that stopped me was this anxiety or this fear or the self-judgment? I'm gonna feel like crap, and I'm gonna feel amazing if I just conquer that fear. And even if you do just sometimes fall and allow the anxiety to take over, it doesn't mean that you can't start anew the next day. So don't, like, oh, I failed, so what's the point? Just keep trying, get up and try again. So anyway, that is my video on social anxiety. I really hope that helped. I hope I came across the way I wanted to come across. And yeah, if you have any comments about social anxiety, how you deal with it, what do you think it is, what do you think the problem is, how you can cure it, how you can conquer it, if you have it, please put it in the comment section below. If you like this video, please like it. And if you want to share this video, please share it. It really helps, guys. And if you want to continue to follow me on this beautiful game called life, please subscribe. And thank you from Live, Love, Life, and Travel. By the way, do you like my scarf dress? If I can wear a scarf for a dress every day, I would.
A table for two. Won't you wine and dine with me? Settle down.